I just arrived in country. Can I take test now?
Of course.
I just arrived in country. Can I take test now?
I'm sorry, sir. You have an appointment.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. We often cover Chicago on this program because it's a place near and dear to my heart. I grew up in the Midwest. I've traveled to Chicago a lot of times, and I often still go to Chicago to see my family members and so forth. And so it really bothers me that the city is declining and is total spiraling decay. It's a great American city. They're not building more great American cities, and so the ones that we have, we should protect. Chicago's an awesome place if you've ever been there, but Chicago is absolutely on the decline. It's on the decline, and its residents know this. Its residents are starting to snap. Now, Chicago has a very large black population. Chicago's black population is the only reason why Democrats win in the state of Illinois. Without Cook County specifically, Democrats would not win. Donald Trump would win in a landslide in Illinois. Cook County accounts for like 70 to 80% of all Democrat votes in the state. And so when these people say they're finished with the Democrat Party, when these individuals say that what the Democrats have done by importing new voters and new residents from the third world into these historically black communities to reduce the political power of the black voters there, man, they are pissed. There are open mic sessions that are going on right now that are wild in Chicago. Black resident explodes at city council meeting over migrant crisis. Trump, come in here and clean this mess up.
I am anti-immigrant, illegal, call ICE, send them all back, waiting across the Rio Grande and don't obey our immigration and naturalization laws. And to see another group come over here is disgraceful. It is un-American. And these rules that you have, the rule, who made these rules? When did the ultimate vote for these rules? When did the people have time to participate in making these rules? And one of you all came over to me, Mr. Blakemore, we got little children. What about the black children in the ghetto? We got to make a future for them. These others will move them out, move us out, and they come in to compete with jobs, goods, and contracted service. Historian Carl Addison say that they have a negative effect on the black community. I'm strictly advocating for black people and call ICE on them. Trump, come in here, clean this mess up. The most corrupt city in the United States is the city of Chicago. And that's not my...
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore, for your comments.
Baby, you won't see that guy on CNN. Trump, come in here and clean this mess up. Now, they're going to have the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. How's that going to work? That is not going to be pretty. City of Chicago residents, black residents, are suing the city for migrant tent city that they have created. And the city has had to effectively halt construction because of its black residents saying, you will not put a massive tent city to house nearly 2,000 illegal aliens here. Of course, they're a sanctuary city. So you have to provide housing and you have to provide food and shelter for anyone seeking sanctuary, except for your own residents who are barely getting by. I recently traveled to Chicago. The city is on a steep decline. And the only thing that is rising in Chicago is certainly not any more skyscrapers, but the rates of poverty and crime. Those are the only two things on the upswing in Chicago. Even the sports teams suck more than usual. And so the people of Chicago are losing it. There is a new communist mayor of the city. The city missed its opportunity to elect a guy who was like very law and order. There's a new communist mayor of the city. He's driving people out of Chicago, reducing their political power. Because then the census happens, Chicago loses 100,000 residents, Chicago loses 1 million residents, well, they lose members of Congress. That's just how it works. It's the beauty of our system, actually. And so Chicago is in pure panic. So they need to bring in as many people as they possibly can to try and get those numbers up, those rookie numbers. 3 black Chicago men expose how the government is spending $500 million on housing and tents for foreign nationals when their streets are already full of homeless Americans. We're going to flip Chicago red. The Democrat Party is done in Chicago. Check this out from Real America's Voice.
How do you justify leaving the amount of people on the streets that are out here? And you building tents, warm tents, to house 2,000 illegals? I went from tent to tent. Some of these people are veterans. How do you justify people being homeless at this rate?
We're seeing increased taxes. We're struggling to pay our mortgages. We're struggling to pay our bills. And we have thousands of dollars every month, millions of dollars, $500 million this year to support foreign nationals. And that's coming out of our pocket. It's going to people from another country, from foreign nationals. Those countries have to take care of their people. We just don't have the resources. You know, it's nothing against them, but we just don't have it. You know, we're struggling. This is government oppression at its finest. As a veteran myself, I just talked to a veteran in this tent right here. You know, we're seeing people who have given their all to their country, and we just cast them out by the expressway with the trash. This is unconscionable, and it's unconstitutional. Meanwhile, we have to follow every law. We can't go over the speed limit without getting a ticket sent to our house, but people can violate federal law, and we come in and roll out the welcome mat, give them our home equity, give them our sales taxes. They get the best of our schools. Meanwhile, something like 90% of black children are not reading, writing, and doing math proficiency, but they do it all under the guise of this fake diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. We just need to start voting differently. We need to start pulling ourselves out of these government institutions, starting with the public school system. We need to move on from big government and from the city of Chicago's political machine.
This is taken away from American citizens, American children who are already struggling academically. You're going to bring in a new group of children, a new group of people, take those resources away from Americans to accommodate this new group of people. That is going to make the children going to fall further behind. Unemployment is going through the roof. Poverty, crime. This is going to impact our communities across this city to the point to where violence, murder, robbery is going to spike. Not just with Americans, but also with these people coming here. 3,000 illegal immigrants are living in this factory, almost, a half a block long? And this is going to transcend into public housing. They keep saying that there will be no public housing for illegal immigrants. That's not true. So we pay to be homeless, basically, now as United States citizens. We're going to flip Chicago red. The Democratic Party is done in Chicago, and that's a fact. By summer, you think it's a lot of them coming in. You watch the uprising of red in Chicago.
Ooh, baby. Democrats in Chicago are going to get their comeuppance. There was another press conference held here in City Hall where Democrats say, if you think you're going to have a peaceful Democrat convention while our people are starving, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Black Chicago residents issue warning to Democrat Party and Biden. They are pissed. They are pissed. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Black Chicago residents are going to be preparing for the DNC convention in Chicago. They are outraged over the amount of illegal aliens. I had never seen anything like this in Chicago. I was walking on Millennium Park, and there was like South American bodegas everywhere. The number of black residents that have been shipped, the number of, Hispanic or South American illegal criminal migrants that have been shipped into the city have already changed this culture. Like, I'd never seen anything like it. There are all these like South American bodegas. Now, like, you can set up a bodega anywhere you want, but like maybe this isn't the right term for it. It's like a little, like a push cart where they're like frying stuff. Anyway, I've never seen anything like it in Chicago. It was a flair that I've never seen, right? And I got to tell you, the people who actually live there that I spoke with were furious. These are people who have voted for Democrats their entire lives. And these are business owners, people who voted for Democrats their entire lives. And man, there is a change coming to Chicago. Recall that residents of Chicago rioted during the 1968 Democrat National Convention for similar reasons. And those universal reasons are Democrats not listening to their voters, not listening to their constituency. Republican Party has the same problem, but I don't think you're going to see anything like what happens in Chicago here, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to pop off. About to pop off. Merry Christmas. You filthy animals. Home Alone filmed in Chicago. You don't see any great movies filmed in Chicago anymore, right? All the great movies of the 80s were filmed in Chicago. It was a clean, tasteful, smartly run, orderly city. No more. Merry Christmas.